Welcome to Quick Tips with eLearning. This week, we're going to talk about Bookings with Me, an application that allows others to book time with you based on your calendar availability in Outlook. So first, we're going to go to outlook.office.com/book-with-me/me. And most likely it's going to ask you to log in, and you'll use your Green River email and email password credentials to log in. You'll get to the page like this once you've logged in. And so you'll see your name, your photo if you've uploaded one. If you haven't and you want to add one, you can go over to this little icon in the top right and then hover over the circle, and then you can click and add your picture there. But this is the Bookings with Me. So this is connected to your Microsoft Outlook account. So it looks at your calendar to allow others to schedule time with you. And there is public and there is private. So public are things that are going to appear on your public booking page itself. So anyone who can access this would be able to see these options. And then the private one is only those with the link can view. So if you created one under the private one, you would have to then take that, copy the link to it, and send it to the people that you would want to sign up for time with you. I'm going to add an option to my public bookings. So I'm going to just hit the plus button on the public one. So you can add whatever title you'd like. Category is for you. It pulls from your calendar in your Outlook on already existing categories. You can always add them. You can add a description. This is super helpful to let the person who's scheduling with you know what they would be signing up for. And then you see here under location, you can either say, I just want it to be a Teams meeting. It's going to automatically generate a Teams meeting and include that information in the reminders and calendar invite that will go out. Alternatively, if you want to use Zoom, you just turn that off, and then you would paste your Zoom link into the location, and that would then be there for them to join. Then the duration, so you can say in 15-minute increments. You can also do custom, so then you can do I want on 10-minute long, 25-minute long. For me, I'm going to go with 1 hour since that's what my description is. And then I was making this public. And then down here, I can see, okay, I want to use my regular meeting hours, and that means that it's going to take it from my calendar. So any meetings I have are going to make it so I'm unavailable on Bookings with Me. In addition to that, my set working hours in Outlook calendar will be the parameters of days that I am available to meet. So if my calendar is at the default of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday of the hours I'm technically available to work, then that would be the parameters in addition to any meetings that are already on my calendar within those hours would all be off limits. Alternatively, you can say, I want to use custom availability hours. And so for this type of meeting, I could say, I want to do Saturdays and Tuesdays, and maybe it's from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4:15 to 6:15, and that would take, it would say within these hours on my schedule, this is when this particular activity could be scheduled with me. You have some advanced options here around buffer time. So if someone books with me, it says, it gives the people booking with me, if I have a meeting before this time period, it's going to say, oh, you can't start right here on this hour, you have to start 5 minutes later. So that gives you time in between meetings, and then same with after meetings. So if I put 5 minutes after, then it would have to find an hour and 10-minute time slot to fit in to my schedule, and then limit time start to whatever type of interval you want. And then the lead time is, can they sign up for a meeting with you in an hour? Or do you want to know, do they need to schedule at least 12 hours in advance or 1 day in advance? As well as like maximum time, will you allow people to schedule with you 3 months in advance? So then if everything looks good, I am going to hit save. And you'll now see I have this third option. So I've already done these two, or a 30-minute and a 45-minute chat. And then the same thing for private if you want that. So if I created a private event or a private scheduler, let's say it's specifically about guided pathways and private, use my meeting hours, that's fine. Okay, let's save it. To share, you can hover over the box and click on the 3 dots, and then you have the options to duplicate, but you can share. You can also do the copy single use link directly from here, and it's going to give me this to copy. You can also say, I just want to make it valid for one booking. So if you want to send it just to one person, you can say, yep, one person can book using this link, or multiple people can use that link. And then you can copy it, and then you can put it wherever you'd like, or you can go and say, I want to email it to specific people. So this would be super helpful if you have your students sign up to meet with you a particular amount of time. So you could say, I need, a 10-minute meeting with every student in the class at midterm. You could send them this link, or you could put all their email addresses in and email them the link directly. So that is the basics of bookings with me.